Morning and welcome to this edition of Inside Oakwood with Dr. Leslie Pollard. And we have some great information to share with you. Thanks for being with us. Dr. Pollard, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Donna. Good morning. Good morning. Boy, we are excited this morning. We're excited. This
Yes,
is
we are.
Oakwood Live. It's here, right? It's here. Oakwood Live. When we've got our students coming, about 400, I'm told, 400
Wow.
senior students who are here looking at Oakwood and considering it as a place to do their education. And we believe that there's no experience like the Oakwood experience. So we're here
Yes.
with all of our friends and all the workers and excited about today's broadcast.
Yes. So, Dr. Pollard, before we get started, you got a quick word for us to go
Oh,
into our
yes.
discussion?
Yes, I always go back to one that I was taught when I was just a little boy, Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. It
Mhm.
says, remember your creator in the days of your youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years kind of
Mhm.
beset you, draw nigh, while the years come upon you. Okay, so that's an important text because it tells us that in the morning of our experience, we can remember God and we can avoid a lot of pain that the evil days bring with them.
Yeah.
And so that's part of what we're trying to say to our students today. We're trying
Yeah.
to say, if you make good choices, you get good consequences. You make
Mhm.
bad choices, they're going to be bad consequences. And then we say, now you get to make your choices, but you know you don't get to choose your consequences.
Wow. Yeah.
They just
Yeah.
come as a result of choices. So we're encouraging our students to make the Oakwood choice. We want them to experience Oakwood this weekend. For their parents who are listening, this is a once in a lifetime experience. Any chaperones who are listening, this is a once in a lifetime experience. And we would encourage everyone to consider seriously casting your lot, investing in, enrolling in Oakwood University, and letting us build that launch pad that will take you out into the stratosphere. As you can see with many of our guests today, they'll talk about that.
Yes.
This is a launching pad. God knew He put us in the Rocket City because Oakwood is a launching pad, and we launch people into their dreams, their hopes, their aspirations, and into their service orbits. So that's what we do. And we do that in a lot of ways. We do that in music, we do that in ministry, we do that in education, we do that in business, we do that in healthcare, we do, and I can just go on and on and on. Our graduates are everywhere, not only
Mhm.
making dollars, but making a difference.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Pollard. And that's a great segue into a highlight that we want to share about dealing with applications and admissions and things like that. And that's why Dr. Karen Ben Marshall is here. So, can you share with us what the great information is that you want to share with us today in our listening audience?
Good morning, Donna. Thank you so much.
Good
So we
morning.
are so excited because as we were on the show earlier and we shared with you that we have a dual enrollment program. This dual enrollment program started years ago with Oakwood Adventist Academy. And through this partnership, several young people who are high schoolers have been able to take university classes while they were in high school. And so we have expanded our partnership to other Adventist institutions. I want to make sure that that's clear. So some of our other sister schools, so that they will have the opportunity that Oakwood Adventist Academy has experienced for years. And so one of our first branch off partners is Pine Forge Academy.
I knew it. I knew it.
Yep,
Great,
Pine Forge
great.
Academy. Absolutely. Tacoma Academy.
Yes, do that. All right now.
CAAA, Greater Adventist Atlanta Academy.
Mhm.
Also Boston Dream Academy in Boston.
Oh.
And our Northeastern schools, initially it was Northeastern Academy, but now they actually have 3 campuses. And so we are partnering with them as well. And we are expanding this partnership. We have initially started with these few schools, and there will be an MOU signing with the principals who are here today. And that will
Wow.
be at 9 o'clock immediately following this. And we will share the press release with individuals. So we're so excited because of the benefits that we have seen of our dual enrollment students. And I don't know if Dr. Pollard wants to add to that, because I think it's so critical that our young people have the opportunity to finish earlier and the opportunity to experience college life earlier. And we have seen from the data that our students have a stronger experience and are academically more proficient. So their grade point average is even higher than we're seeing from the literature.
Amen. Amen. Well, I'm with Dr. Ben Marshall on this. I'm a strong promoter of our dual enrollment program for all of the wonderful academic reasons that Dr. Ben Marshall just mentioned, helping students advance more rapidly through education, helping them lock into their majors, helping them to develop quickly, expanding their minds more at an earlier pace in terms of what enrollment and college work looks like. I'm also a very strong supporter because it aids us as an institution in pulling out some of the cost of earning their degree. If students can do dual enrollment, then there's less to be paid out when they get to college. And that's important because when we think about families in our socioeconomic sector, that many of our families make only 60 cents to the dollar for the majority. So everything that we as an institution can do to reduce the cost to graduation, from enrollment to graduation, we're committed. And dual enrollment, along with the academic advancement, it also pulls out some of the cost of earning their degree. And that's always a blessing to our families.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. So that is great news. One question I do have about that before we talk about OU Live and all the great things that are happening already on campus is how will the students like in Boston and other places actually take those classes? Is it going to be virtual?
Absolutely. Great question, Don, and thank you for that. Absolutely. So, Oakwood, we are now a year-round institution. So we offer classes in the fall, we offer classes in the spring. We also have summer 1 and summer 2 classes, as well as winter break classes. So we end in November, right before Thanksgiving, so that you have the opportunity to take classes. But even through our traditional term, which is fall and spring, we still do offer some classes online as well. So of course, the Oakwood Adventist Academy students come on campus, but the ones that are virtual, they experience Oakwood University virtually.
That is wonderful news. I know everybody is shouting and excited about that all around the country. So listen, we're also here to talk about Oakwood Live because we have some wonderful things going on campus. Last year, we weren't able to do it live and in person. How did we make this happen this year and have, I think Dr. Pollard said, about 400 students on campus this week?
God is good. He sure is all the time. We were projecting, in this COVID environment, you just don't know what to expect. But the students have been clear, and they have been indicating to us that it is really critical and important for us to make sure that experience is a face-to-face experience. They didn't want that virtual experience. And so we have been planning for them. They are in hotels, 12 hotels across the city. We are happy and excited to see them. We also have, interestingly, several parents on this trip because they wanted to also make sure that their student experienced that as well. And so Lewis Jones is our director for recruitment and admissions. And so he's so excited because we have got the students here, our prospective students. So we're building our class for fall 2022, but we're also building our class for spring 2022.
Wow. So we got to get Lewis Jones in here because we want to get to our special guest is Dr. Eric Thomas. He's going to be one of our speakers here for OU Live, and Mr. Jermaine Dolly. You hear his music right here on WJLU. We're going to get to them, but come on, Lewis Jones, tell us about this Oakwood Live activity that's going on right now.
When I tell you Oakwood Live is live, I mean, they are live and in living color. They've come from the north, they've come from the south, the east, and the west. They've come from outside of the United States, all across the North American division, and they are excited about it. I was running some of the students last night back and forth between the hotels and so forth, and just listening to the comments. Sometimes you just have to listen to young people. And I'm telling you, they're saying that they had a ball. Yes. They enjoyed everything that was on campus. They can't wait to get to chapel today either. They are so excited about chapel. I've never heard young people so excited about church. See, that only happens at OU, at the Oakwood University, where young people are excited about Jesus.
So you got to tell us about our guests. We want to get to them now. We have Jermaine Dolly and Dr. Eric Thomas. Tell us about Lewis Jones. Introduce our guests for us and what they're going to be doing for Oakwood Live.
Can I just tell you right now, first of all, he used to be my neighbor.
Uh-oh.
He used to be my neighbor. Don't ask my neighbor, but he used to be my neighbor. And listen, let me tell you, I knew something way back when
Praise God.
When I used to go up the street, and sometimes we used to just hobnob and talk about the goodness of Jesus. I saw something in this young man a long time ago. When I would go by and sit down and talk with he and his wife. And let me tell you, he has got to be right now the #1 speaker in the world.
Yeah.
And he graduated from Oakwood University. I remember when he didn't have nothing but a GED. And now he got a PhD. I'm telling you right now, all the way live from the state of Michigan. Y'all give it up for the one and only, the indubitable, I'm telling you, the incomparable, Mr. E.T. Eric Thompson.
Hey.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, don't say I'm in Huntsville. Don't say that. I'm all man.
Come on. That's Dr. Eric. Go ahead, Dr. Eric Thomas.
Tell you something.
We're so glad to have you here.
I was telling somebody yesterday, a good friend of mine, he said, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm at the Mecca. I'm back at the Mecca."
Yeah.
You feel me? And it's so good to be back home. The Lord is blessed, man, but it's nothing like, some young lady from Kansas City said there's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. And so it is a blessing to be back. Specifically, man, when I was a freshman, a sophomore, I remember being in classes with E. Cleveland. I remember sitting in the church with Dr. Ward, and to be able to come back and do that for another group of students is just, it warms my heart. It's like, wow, I got it. Now I'm going to be able to give it. I was able to receive it, 18, 19 years old. I sat in the Mecca and was blessed. And now I'm going to be able to be that same blessing to the students that somebody was to me. So I'm excited, man. I can't wait. But we're going to have church, though.
Yes. Well, let's hear from Mr.
Church, though.
Yeah, let's hear from Mr. Jermaine Dolly now. How do you feel about being at the Mecca? And this can't be your first time, is it, Mr. Jermaine?
What's crazy is when I heard about it, I didn't know what my manager just told me what was going on. I didn't know what was going on.
You didn't know was this outrageous?
I didn't. He just sent me calls. I'm like, all right, what we doing? I don't ask no questions. I get there. I get on call, and then that be that. But I said Oakwood. It's like Oakwood with a choir, like the decent, the amazing choir. That's it. That's it. No, I'm hyped now. I'm with that. Like when I came on earlier, it was like, yo, I kept saying Oakwood. I was like, this is the Oakwood. They got the choir. Like, whoa.
Yeah, that's the choirs.
The world choir.
Yeah. Like, whoa. Like, all right, I'm lit. Like that's lit with me. Like, and then and then they was I asked my manager. I was like, so who? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like what's going on? He was like, you supposed to be there with some world famous preacher. Then I get over here, we got E.T. my man, like that's my guy. Like,
Philly is in the. Hey, yo, I got QDZ. Yeah. Philly is Philly. These my guys, man. So I'm looking forward to worshiping together. I think you on to tomorrow.
Tomorrow Saturday. Tomorrow on Saturday. Yep. So
he gonna get it. He gonna get it high. Yeah.
All right. So Lewis Jones, could you tell us about how these events are going to be happening and when these special guests are going to be appearing? And then I want to come back to them because I have a question for both of them.
So actually today we have our chapel service where actually we meet with our students about 9:50 this morning, and ET is going to be our speaker there and so forth. Then of course we have tomorrow night our AYM program, and our students will be lit in the place. ET will be the speaker. Jermaine Dolly is going to be the featured guest. And I know that most people know that he is like an amazing singer. Oh my goodness, the range. Oh my goodness. Have mercy. I sing bass, but that brother gets in the stratosphere. And then what some people don't know, he's also a comedian, a Christian comedian. Oh my goodness. So he's going to have us laughing. He's going to have us praising. He's going to have us lifting our hands. And then we're going to be rolling on our side. Oh, no. Hallelujah. And then also on Sabbath morning, we're going to be down at the Von Braun Civic Center. And it's going to be lit down at the Von Braun Civic Center. ET is going to be actually giving the message. Jermaine Dolly is going to be in the concert. It's going to be lit all weekend long. Listen, if you are not in Huntsville, you better be someplace online, watching, looking, anticipating. You better be somewhere listening for your name.
All right. So, ET, could you tell us?
Door, we waiting for you.
Yeah. Cool. Now, can you tell us, Dr. Thomas, what is going to be your key message that you're going to be bringing to our students as you speak to them?
Yeah, like I said, just being an Oakwoodite, I want to talk to them about the fact that, everything you need to be an acorn is already inside the seed. You know what I'm saying? The oak tree is the oak tree because of the seed. It is what it is, and so we need to be in the right environment. They need to understand that in order to activate the oak tree, that oak's got to fall. So falling is a part of life, and they've got to learn how to embrace failure. Not see it as something negative, but see it as the thing that transforms and produces them into the great thing that God called them to be. And just really just talk about the fact that, hey, y'all know what I do. Y'all know where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? So if Oakwood could do it for me, being that I came in as a high school dropout, I came in from 2.5 years of being homeless straight to Oakwood, and if Oakwood could change me and change the world in the way it has, it could do the exact same thing for them. So I just want to teach them how to activate Oakwood. It's special.
Yeah.
Got to know how to activate it, how to use it.
I like
right?
that. I like that.
If they do the right thing while they're here. I literally entered to learn and I departed to serve.
Mm-hmm. And you really feel deep down in your heart that if you had not come to Oakwood, you probably wouldn't be where you are today and have accomplished as much as you have if you hadn't had that Oakwood experience.
Listen to me. A large percentage of the guys that I was hanging out with before I came to Oakwood, either dead or in jail. So it's it's not like you're not talking about, had I not come to Oakwood, would I not be doing what I'm doing? I'd have been like a teacher or something. Like, no, I wouldn't. I don't even know if I would be alive today.
Oh my goodness.
I would have had my freedoms had it not been for Oakwood. Like I said, I was homeless. You know what I'm saying? Like I came from being homeless. I didn't transfer from another school, or I didn't graduate from high school. When I got to Oakwood, I didn't even know what an SAT or an ACT was. It made me take the test. And of course, I took all remedial courses because, I hadn't really taken school. I hadn't been in school since my sophomore year, really. That was the last school year. Sophomore year was the last year I completed. So no questions asked. God knew what he wanted me to be, and he knew where he wanted me to go to become that.
Wow. Well, Mr. Jermaine Dolly, if you could share a little bit about your history and what your key message is going to be as you minister in song. And I'm sure, as they've said, you got a little message in between there, little jokes and everything. Tell us what your key takeaways will be for your presentation and your ministry.
What's crazy is I had an ex like about 10 years ago. She Seventh-day Adventist, and she went to Pine Forge. Like we used to go like. She was Pine Forge. They used to go up there
before Oakwood.
So they used to always talk about Oakwood, always talk about them, and then and then I caught wind of who Oakwood was, and I just see all the choirs and all that. And so for me, I'm coming to this week right here, dealing with the young kids. It's just all about, for me, serving. ET stepped on that, touched on that a little bit earlier. For me, I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for serving. I'm an independent gospel artist. If anybody know anything about the gospel music industry, I'm at the bottom of the barrel of the whole music industry. So it's hard to get in. So once you finally get in, it's a small window. It's a small window. My story is pretty much an unlikely story. Independent gospel artist. It wasn't signed. My first single, "You," was recorded in the bottom of my best friend's mom's basement. The booth was an old closet with old church suits in there. Like his mom had old church like dresses in there, and we put that song out just on faith. And I got 7 singles out. All 7 went top 10 on Billboard, 2 number ones, right? And in the midst of all that, I'm very spoiled. And so I heard a lot of no's. And I'm looking at God like, well, God, you keep giving me no's. I keep hearing these no's. I keep hearing these no's, right? Because at some point, you start seeing the success of what you've been, and like, odds against you. I'm from Philly, so we always like got our backs against the wall. So we like want to prevail. We want to prevail. And fleshly, I would say stuff like, I'm going to change gospel music. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Y'all don't want to let me in because I kept hearing you're not churchy enough. You're not worshipy enough. Is he serious? Because I do comedy on Instagram. Are you serious enough about gospel music? And I start looking like, well, I am that. And so when I get on these stages with y'all, I'm going to demolish y'all, right? And those opportunities didn't come. So I went back to the drawing board. I said, well, God, like, what's up? Like what's going on? He said to me, you didn't get to where you got to because you know how to sing and know how to write music. I didn't ask you to try to change gospel music. I told you to do my assignment. And before that, assignment before accolades. You got to where you at because of serving. You serving at home. My home church got 15 members in there. I play there every Sunday. I play at 2 churches. I play there every Sunday. If I'm out on the road, I come back home and I serve at my church. And this one church got 15 members in there, and they all like 65 and up. They don't care nothing about CCM songs. They don't care nothing about Dolly. They care about Jermaine. You know, you got people that praise Dolly. It's like, oh, it's a lot of authority that comes with everybody. Lift your hands right now. You got a room full of people, like 1,500 people or 5 people, whatever the case may be. I tell you, lift your hands. You lift your hands. That's authority. It can get to your head. So for me, it was like, yo, I asked God, like, yo, like, what's wrong? He said, you keep asking me, worrying about if you're worshipy enough, or if you're churchy enough, or if you're serious enough about the work that I've given you. You're you enough in me. You're you enough in me.
Amen.
So from that, I'm like, and people don't let me hear this. The people don't normally get to hear me talk like this because I play around all day. But when it comes like singing is not what I'm called to do. That's not my assignment. Singing is just what get people know that comedy is what get people attention. Now, this is right here what I'm called to do, to talk. Like, I know preaching is coming soon. I'm running from it, but it's coming. It's definitely coming. Like, it's no choice but to come, right? But what the message I really want to lead to these kids coming up to this weekend is like, yo, don't be afraid to serve. I know serving is not a popular thing. It's not. Service don't get reposted on Instagram. Service don't get 100 likes on Instagram. And last thing, and I'm done talking. I went to Vegas, and the Hoover Dam is out there, right? Me and my wife, we go drive to it, and while we driving to it, you see like big mountains. It's like a postcard out there. It's big mountains. It's like 45 minutes from the strip, and I'm looking at these mountains. I see random poles coming out of a rock and like coming out of a rock, going in a rock. I'm like, what are these random poles just coming out of random mountains? Keep driving down, you see wires. You see wires coming out of rock. It's just randomly wires and random poles coming out of this rock. I'm like, wow, like, what is that? Like, cool. We pull up to the Hoover Dam, and everybody's rushing to go to the Hoover Dam. Hoover Dam is a beautiful thing. You've never seen it. It's an amazing thing. You go there, Arizona's on one side. They don't got time. They don't got to do, what's that? Make your clock go back. They don't.
Daylight
saving. They don't do daylight saving time on one side of the street. The other side of the street is a different time. So it's like, yo, this is crazy. Like, this is lit. Like, the water blue is crazy. Everybody is taking a picture with the Hoover Dam. Then it hit me. Poles and the wires are what make the ministry run. I mean, the Hoover Dam run. Nobody takes pictures, wants to take a picture with the usher. I mean, the pole. Nobody wants to take a picture with the wires. Nobody wants to take a picture with them. Everybody's rushing to be in front of the pulpit. Everybody's rushing to be in front of the Hoover Dam, not understanding that the poles and the wires make the Hoover Dam run.
Come on now. That's a sermon right there.
And so from that right there, guys, I just want to encourage people to, like, yo, don't be afraid to serve, because assignment before accolades. When opportunity meets assignment, it leads you access to your destination, yo. It leads you access to your destination. So, yo, like, that's what I'm here to do this week right here. And I'm telling some jokes. I'm gonna sing, get your attention, but I'm definitely gonna keep down their throat. Serving is where to go.
Wow, this feels like the best OU ever. Now, can we, to Dr. Karen Benn Marshall, are there virtual platforms for those of us who cannot come, are not going to be allowed to come because of COVID-19, only the students on campus? Is it going to be a virtual opportunity?
Always, always. OUBN, it'll be on our university website. Just log into our university website, Facebook, just YouTube. Just
So
check
it'll
us out.
be, we can check it out if we can't be there face to face and in person and see and be inspired by both of these guests who are just gonna, I'm sure they're gonna take us on to glory. So
Yes,
we're so excited
absolutely.
for them to be here, Dr. Pollard.
Well, I'm grateful. And it's beautiful to see Dr. Thomas back at his alma mater. I remember him when he was a student, and I said this to him before, but I'll say it publicly, and I still see it. The thing that struck me about him, Jermaine, the thing that struck me about him, even then there was a sincerity and earnestness that has never gone away. He was authentic. He was who he was, and I never seen a person who was a student that's sincere about finding what God had for him to do. And he was sincere. I mean, it was just, and you can see what God did with that. And Jermaine, we want to affirm everything you said, my brother. Everything you said, that the service is our calling. It was Muhammad Ali who said, service is the rent that we pay for our room here below. Yeah, it's service. So we're going to have a great time. And thank you so much to all of our guests. Thank you for Dr. Benn Marshall for being the quarterback on this important experience. And we're looking forward to it. We'll see you Oakwood Live. It's on and it's on and it's on. And we're going to be enjoying it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody, for being here for Inside Oakwood with Dr. Leslie Pollard. We'll be looking to see you now on social media where we'll be lifted up. And we'll see you again next week for Inside Oakwood next Thursday. It's another edition, and we'll be happy to see you there. Bye-bye, y'all.